Hello everyone, hope you're doing great. Thanks for tuning in, and DC TechNet is your own channel, so do like, share and subscribe to the channel. And let's see what we have in this session today. Today we'll continue again on our group policy exceptions, and today will be part 2 of our discussion. And in our last session, we have seen what are exceptions in general. We have seen the exceptions in group policies. We have understood one of the exceptions called as enforced, and we have also configured enforced in our lab. So let's see what we have in today's session. In today's session, we are going to understand one more group policy exception, namely block inheritance. So first and foremost, we'll understand what inheritance is all about with examples, and we'll understand how inheritance works in our group policy and how group policy block inheritance works, and we'll wind up our session with some demos on blocking the inheritance in our group policy. So let's get started. So what is inheritance in general? So inheritance is a mechanism of acquiring features or behaviors or attributes, whatever. Inheritance refers to the process of transmitting genes from the parents to its offsprings. The passing of genetic traits from parents to their offsprings can be called as inheritance. So in computer programming, inheritance is a procedure that allows a class to inherit the attribute and methods of another class. So we often use the word hereditary, genetical, inborn, inbreed, native, natural. That is nothing but everything is pointing to inheritance. So these are some of the examples. So we inherit the properties of our parents. So every child inherits the properties of their parents. And in the real life, we have a class called as vehicles. We have 3 classes: bus, car and truck. So the superclass vehicle has some properties, let's say fuel amount, capacity. So those will be again inherited by the subclass. So these are some of the examples in our real life. Now, inheritance is always a parent-child relationship. So we have to remember this, that inheritance is always a parent-child relationship. So let's come back to group policy exceptions now. So to again, let me reiterate, to understand group policy exceptions, it's a must for everyone to know the group policy processing order and group policy precedence. So we have a exclusive video on group policy processing order and group policy precedence, and I will leave a link in the description. So there are 4 exceptions to group policy, namely enforced, block inheritance, group policy loopback processing and filtering. And we have 2 types of filtering: security filtering and WMI filtering. So in last session, we have already seen one of the exceptions named as enforced and how it works. And today we'll be focusing on the next exception, that is block inheritance. So let's move ahead. So how group policy inheritance work? First we'll understand how inheritance work, then we'll move on to blocking that particular inheritance. So this is the OU structure. We have a parent OU, London users, and we have say 5 OUs under it: HR, sales, accounts, design, IT admins. Now we have say linked a policy named London users policy, and in this policy we have disabled the command prompt, and we have linked the policy at the London users OU. So this policy, and we have one more policy, IT admins policy, and we have linked that policy at the IT admins OU, and we have set up a different proxy server for IT admins in this particular policy. So here inheritance will come into picture. So the London users policy will be also applied on IT admins OU. For the say, it will be applied on all the OUs under London users, that is HR, sales, accounts, design, and IT admins. So this is how the inheritance works in group policy. So just to say, remember one thing, now we have 2 policies on our IT admins OU, namely London users policy and IT admins policy. Now let us understand how group policy block inheritance works. We'll take the same example now. We have 2 policies on IT admins OU now, namely London users policy and IT admins policy. Now we want IT admins to have an exception from London users policy. So in a layman's language, we don't want London users policy to be say applied on IT admins OU. So we want an exemption, because as an IT admin man, I don't want the command prompt to be blocked. Okay, so what to do or how to achieve this particular say task? So to achieve this task, we need to implement one of the group policy exceptions called as block inheritance. So we'll block the inheritance at the IT admins OU. So when we block the block the inheritance at the IT admins OU, what will happen is all the policies which are coming from top will be blocked at the IT admins OU. And in this example, the London users policy will be only be say applicable to HR, sales, accounts, and design OU, and it won't get applied on the IT admins OU. So all the IT admins in London will be able to open up the command prompt. So this is how block inheritance works. Let us take another example over here. So we have 4 OUs, OU 10, 20, 30 and 40, and we have policies which are linked at different levels. Now what happened is, what we did, we blocked the inheritance on OU 20. So let's see what happens if we block the inheritance on OU 20. So there will be only 3 OUs which will be affected by this block inheritance, that is OU 20, OU 30 and OU 40. Now if you focus on policy 4 will be still there will be an inheritance to policy 4. Okay, policy 4 will be inherited to OU 30 and OU 40 because policy 4 is linked at OU 20. Now let us see how many policies are finally applied on each OU. So on OU 20, we just have policy 4 because that's the only policy which is linked to OU20. No other policy will be coming from top, that is 8, 9, 1, 2 or 3, because we have blocked the inheritance at OU20. On OU30, only two policies will be applied, that is policy 4 and policy 5. Policy 4 will be inherited from OU20 and policy 5 is directly linked to OU30. And for OU40, we have all the 4 policies. So policy 4 and 5 will be inherited and policy 6 and 7 are directly linked. So these 4 policies will be applied on OU40. So hope you have understood the concept of block inheritance over here. So let's jump on to our labs and we will configure block inheritance in our real Active Directory. Welcome to the labs. So we have logged on to our London DC and this is our Active Directory structure. So we have EMEA over here, UK, London, users, and we have business users, and under business users we have accounts, finance, group heads, and sales OUs. And for today's labs, we'll be working exclusively on our, say, business users and the accounts OUs. So here we have our group policy, say, management, and let's see the current situation. So we have highlighted the business users OU, and we can see there is only one policy which is directly linked to the business users OU, and that is policy 6 over here. Now let us see, there are, say, how inheritance has taken place over here. So let me click on group policy inheritance, and we can see there are some policies which got inherited from top, and these are the policies which came from, say, top, say from users, London, UK, EMEA, and domain root, that is contoso.com. So there's only one policy, that is policy 6, which is directly linked to the business users. Now let us look at accounts OU. So let me highlight accounts OU now. So if you see over here, there are 4 policies which are directly linked to the accounts OU. See over here, linked group policy objects over here. So there are only 4 policies which are directly linked, but definitely there is some inheritance. So let me click on group policy inheritance, and you will see there are a lot of policies which are coming from top. So we can see over here, these policies are coming from the parent OUs, from business users, London, UK, EMEA, and the domain root. So this is the normal behavior. This is how normal inheritance work. Now what we'll do is we'll simply block the inheritance at the business users OU, and we'll see the, say, effect. So let me just right click on the business users OU and click on block inheritance over here. So as soon as we click on block inheritance, you will see the other policies which are coming from top. So these policies, okay, which are coming from top, they just gone now. So we just have one policy, that is policy 6, which is directly linked to the business users OU, because there's only one policy. There is no policy coming from top. Now let us look at our accounts OU. What is the, say, situation at the accounts OU? So at the accounts OU, we have four policies which are directly linked. They will be, they won't be affected by our say block inheritance. So let me click on group policy inheritance over here. Perfect. So if you see over here, there's only one policy, that is policy 7, which is getting inherited. I'm sorry. There's only one policy, that is policy 6, which is getting inherited from the business users OU. Rest all the other policies are directly linked to our accounts OU. So this is how group policy inheritance work. So let me just uncheck the inheritance now, and let's see what happens over here. So let me right click again and just uncheck inheritance, and as soon as we uncheck inheritance, the policies say get applied again, which are linked to the parent OU. Same thing over here. So if I again right click on block inheritance, the policies will go away which are coming from top, and when we uncheck the inheritance, the policies will be applied on the OUs and the child OUs. So hope you have understood how, say, group policy inheritance work. So let's summarize what we have seen today. We have seen what is inheritance. We've understood what is inheritance. We have also seen how inheritance work in a group policy. We have seen what is block inheritance and how it works in group policy. So if you feel this channel is helping you to learn anything new, and if you have learned something new today, do like, share and subscribe the channel, and enjoy your day.